All right, guys, we're live. Not sure how this bandwidth is going to be because for whatever reason, Wi-Fi is not loading on my phone. But it's all good. We're gonna roll through this real quickly. 30-minute show. 30-minute show here because I know you guys have a lot of questions. You've been hitting me up with a lot of questions, and I just want to at least try to get some of these out of the way. Apologize. It's been so long. All right. So the wine, real quick, just real quick. Just poured it. This is a Corsican Vermentino. So Corsica, of course, is this island north of Sardinia, and it's where Napoleon was born. Napoleon is Corsican, which is actually really, a, I guess you could say, Italian place. People that are the lips are very Italian, so the white here is Vermentino. We're gonna do a red next time, so let's try it. So we got like melons on here, melons, and definitely a lot of apple pear juice. It's very light and refreshing, very light and refreshing, and it has almost like a creamy, bright aftertaste. Yeah. Anyway, it's nice, but I wouldn't call it anything too special. This is very much a nice, easy drinking wine with some fresh caught fish. All right. So, first question here. Hello, Pat. First thing, I enjoy your we talk about. I haven't messaged your phone either. All right. So, um, I would not call her randomly one evening. If the issue here is trying to come on too strong, then I could do it. Now, I'm absolutely not against calling girls, but I do think that the guy has to be in the right mindset with calling for it to work appropriately. And if you're more hesitant, trying to really make sure that you're in the right space with her, that you're not gonna, they're not gonna come on too strong. If you don't feel like the rapport has been built up for that, then I wouldn't do it. Now, I would definitely text her, and I actually think that okay, she moved to the area, you exchanged numbers. I presume that in the process of getting her number, there was some declaration of intent. What I mean by that is that you indicated to her in one way or another that you were interested, and that's why she provided you the number. That you weren't getting the number under the pretense of, hey, we're gonna be friends. We're gonna be friends. Um, if you got her number, then you want to message her. You want to set stuff up. And best thing to do, really, you can just do a little fun tour, something like that. I would not do like a classic kind of date or something. I think if she's new to a city, showing her around, being a tour guide, is a fun move. Show her the cool spots, so she associates you as sort of like the advanced mentor in the city. That's what I do, man. Yeah, and I wouldn't delay. I would um, I'd text her and I get things set up. And texting book does a really good job of doing that. In the case like this, you want to send like pick messages and stuff like that. But yeah, my textbook, guys, pick messages basically to get the interaction going. But yeah, guys, my book is Tackling Texting. It's on Amazon. It's like, under $10. Not really a big deal. All right. Next question. Hey Pat, would you mind elaborating a bit about this in tonight's Periscope? How how to point your partner in the right direction about this? Okay, so the message is, this is a stuff from Layla to Mason. Got some great material for women out there. So it says, a message to single women. Have you confronted your father's failings, or do you continue to sweep them under the rug? I am deeply suspicious towards women with bad relationship histories who do not possess the ability to be angry with their fathers. It's okay to pick the wrong guys, but 99% of the time, I see women who pick the wrong guys doing it out of a failure by their fathers to protect care at the right time. Sorry, ladies, but he's flawed. He failed you, and you have to be okay with being mad at him. Otherwise, you'll just be hurt over and over again. Okay, so the question is elaborating a bit about this. Well, I'll take it just very straightforward with it. Women carry, and men do the same thing, with their own parents. But if a woman is carrying veiled anger and resentment towards her father and she doesn't know it, it's going to totally clog up and mess up her relationships with men. So if if her father was weak, for instance, so a woman may not understand that she has contempt for her father if her father's weak, right? She might say, oh yeah, yeah, I love my dad, he's fine, right? But there's a contempt underneath the surface because she couldn't depend on him, she couldn't rely on him. And so if she's not aware of that, then that means that she's going to have a hard time surrendering to men in general. And she's going to actually not trust men and harden herself against men. She's not going to understand why she does that. So she's going to blow up a lot of relationships. If she deals with that issue and she realizes she's angry at her father, then what that does is that allows her to not be angry at other people unconsciously, other men unconsciously. So this is why it's important, and how you would point and guide someone in the right direction with this. If you're in a relationship and let's say the woman is treating you this way, right? And the woman is and she's got all these sort of resentments and stuff. You always want to rise above it. Try not to get into the weeds. Try not to get stuck in, oh my god, I can't believe you said this, I can't believe you did this. um Try not to get pissy about it and say, hey, you know why don't you say this to me? And she's gonna say, well, she may give some kind of excuse when you're just asking, but be firm. You're like, I didn't really appreciate it when you said this to me, and this is the first time what's going on. This can start the process of healing. If that makes sense, kind of putting her in the right direction is one. Getting her in the right direction is one thing, but trying to force her healing on her isn't going to work. But if you make it a point that her problems are creating issues in the relationship, and frankly, that if she doesn't deal with them, um, you're not going to be around. That starts things in the right and starts things in the right direction. Then it probably is kind of shitty. I haven't been able to get my cell phone on Wi-Fi, and I didn't want to troubleshoot it before the show because I just didn't have time to do it. I have calls that start just in a few more minutes. Um, so hopefully it's going to ease out. Just bear with me here. So yeah, you want to get to the heart of the problem. And also just pointing out her behavior towards you is enough to get her to start asking, and you can ask her why she does it. When she starts to ask herself why she does it, and when she starts to see it's a problem, that's when she can start to fix it. If you if you go down to the lowest range part again, you simply you, you uh, and It's not going to work. Um, guys, I don't know what to do about this audio. I don't know. My phone's just not connecting to the Wi-Fi. So I hope you guys can bear with me here. All right. I'm going to answer. Guys, um, so real ugly at home. Like, almost feels like it is intentional. We have some issues for sure. I recently told her I feel we're distant a bit on love terms, and so far talking about issues with her never really worked. Is the dress up to get a reaction out of me or something else? You can answer this with a little content. Thanks. Okay, so here's the deal with it. I would need a lot more to really answer this in an ideal way because you're saying that talking about issues has never really worked. I don't know how you've been talking about issues. That matters a lot. If you talk about issues in an ineffective way, you're not going to get any real change. Nothing's gonna happen really. Nothing's gonna change with the whole situation. So I also, when you say you're a bit distant on love term, that I assume that means sex, and affection maybe in general. So is she wait a second. What an absolute disaster. I'm glad I got back in. Um, yeah, I should have restarted my phone before I even got into this, just because apparently now I'm on Wi-Fi, so we should be good now. Um, appreciate you guys who bore with me on all this stuff. All right, so I'm gonna re-answer that question completely because it was really getting messy. So this is about the wife dressing poorly. So the two parts of this is the wife dressing poorly. Is it a conscious or unconscious thing? What to do about it? There's some elements of it being unconscious. Some elements of it being unconscious. When a woman is yeah, it was just the Wi-Fi. I should have just restarted the phone beforehand. It wasn't worth it. Um, when a woman is detached from desire in a relationship, when she no longer desires you, she's going to stop acting as if she wants you to desire her. So it is a collapse in the um, sexuality of the relationship. It's a collapse in the desire in the relationship. It doesn't mean the relationship's over, doesn't mean it can't be rekindled, but that is what's going on. And that's mostly an unconscious thing. She didn't wake up one morning and say, I'm going to dress like this to piss him off, or I'm going to dress like this so that he responds to it. She's just basically saying, what do I care? It's more comfortable. Now, I'm going to tell you about just really quick. I suppose you could say the good sign is that it's a sign she's not cheating. If a girl starts to dress really nice, but things in your relationship haven't been fixed, and she's still treating you with indifference or worse, then she's probably having an affair or she's preparing herself to. So you always want to watch out for that. If she starts to get really starts dressing really well, starts to get in shape, but none of that's really getting directed towards you, it's a bad sign about where things going on that front. So she's detached pretty much entirely sexually, uh, but there's not another guy in the picture, that's for sure. All right, now how do you on the conscious side of things, what's going on is that, and kind of like how to deal with it. It is something to bring up. It is something to bring up, but I'd also ask, how are you in the dynamic? Are you yourself dressing well? Are you dressing well? Are you in shape? This is very important. It's a very fundamental manosphere precept. But if you aren't doing that stuff yourself, then it's impossible to really address it with her. So if she's not dressing nicely and you want her to change that, the first thing you should do is yourself start dressing nicer and start doing it on a regular basis. And it's going to start to create much more of a disconnect. And then you can bring up, once you've done that for a bit, probably say a month, then you can bring it up with her. And look, I think it's fine to be gentle at first, and probably, the feminine grows by praise. But if a woman's not really taking care of herself, I think it's appropriate for you to basically call it out. Now, like I said, I don't know the specifics in your dynamic, in the sense that it sounds like there's issues going on multiple fronts. And I feel like if you deal with some of the more emotional issues going on in the dynamic, like about your communication and about just sort of expressing how, you probably aren't making her feel like you really care about her. And this stuff will start to move the gears a bit so that you have a better window to talk about, hey, kind of not dressing great. So anyway, it's I would get a couple other pieces in place, and honestly, man, some more info would be great to know about this. It also sounds like a pretty good candidate to work on me one-on-one, because it sounds like there's some heavy lifting to be done, but also a good prognosis if it is taken care of. All right, so I got other questions in here. Only got 5 minutes here. I'm going to answer right here Andrew Warren's question. Hey, Pat, can you comment on the colty brah drama? I'm loving it too much. Aha. What's the genesis behind guys like colty who project their insecurities without any shame or reflection? Well, so this is, if you guys maybe caught my email today, it went out at 5 p.m. I talked about what's going on with colty brah and Andrew Tate. Those who are like OGs will remember that I had my own little, about a year ago right now, my own kind of run-in with colty. Literally the exact same playbook. I dropped all the stuff about him being gay for pay, and and just not really being a man of his word. He backed out of our bet, which is stupid because he would have won the bet, but he backed out of it. He never puts up. He was all talk. So, and I punish my enemies, but I'm not Andrew Tate, and I don't have the resources of Andrew Tate. He was really stupid. He was really stupid to go after Andrew. Andrew will absolutely ruin him, and he's pretty much done on Twitter now. So the question is, where are, how do they project their insecurities without any shame or reflection? Well, colty is extremely ashamed. In fact, you might say that his entire life is one big thing of shame, one big ball of shame. I mean, that's how he's gotten into all this sexual domination fantasies with men, where sometimes he's on the bottom, sometimes he's on the top. And it's also why he's goes out of his way to try to bully people all the time. And I don't like to use the term bully, because even when you use the term bully, like, there's such a connotation, like, oh, well, what you like, that's weak, or you complain about it. I'm not complaining about it in the sense that I can't handle it. I mean, he said very personal, negative things to me and my family. He's a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. It's not like I go to bed at night like, oh, colty bro. It's not like I never really gave a fuck on that deep of a level. But he is a bully, and he's actually like a very classic, almost like a caricatured version of a bully. Like one of the ones you'd see in a lot of those '80s movies, like really rich trust fund kid, which he is, right? Rich trust fund kid, um, who, like, David Spader from 16 Candles kind of thing, right? Just he does not, or Pretty in Pink actually is what I'm trying to say. Pretty in Pink, David Spader, Pretty in Pink. Just rich kids, parents, father in particular, probably didn't give him any attention, was too busy, and probably was distant and critical with him. And so you have all of this shame that builds up. A lot of guys will internalize this. A lot of guys will say, okay, I really don't, they feel terrible about it, and so they shut down, um, they implode. But other guys, what happens is that, especially because they have all sorts of material things, like Colty, look, he is a handsome guy, right? He's in shape. He's a handsome guy. You have to concede certain things about your enemies, otherwise you're absurd. But